Dr. Aanadrangnathan, is it really about the popularity of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal or is it really something wrong with the excise policy, as the BJP says? Because it seems that New York Times has become the centerpiece of this entire debate, rather than the fact that there is an issue of the excise policy itself, the kind of discounts that were given, the kind of write-offs that were given to, the liquor agents, etc. That's hardly a part of the equation today. It almost seems as if Times of India is not good enough for them. Everybody needs an endorsement from New York Times. What do you think this is all about?
Good evening, Navika, and good evening to all the fellow panelists. Look, Aam Aadmi Party is the Alcatraz from where logic managed to escape and swim to safety in the dead of the night. The debate should be about the alleged corruption and mismanagement because of the liquor policy under the watchful gaze of Mr. Sisodia. And here, AAP is trumpeting a propaganda piece written by a sympathizer in a newspaper whose credibility, frankly, is lower than the water table of Gurgaon. But before I begin, I have two issues and I will give you facts and only facts. Let me please rebut my two good friends, Mr. Gaurav Bhatia and Mr. Jasmine. Mr. Jasmine talked about the conviction rate and he was poo-pooing it. Let me tell you, yes, by all means, both CBI and ED are not independent. They are caged parrots. I have said so many times. But while the ED conviction rate is 0.5%, CBI conviction rate is 71%. So they talk more serious business than the ED. So Mr. Sisodia should be worried, as Mr. Jain has been proven. Number two, Mr. Gaurav Bhatia is poo-pooing New York Times, saying, oh, they're rubbish. Then why did Mr. Modi write an op-ed for them called Guiding Light in 2019? और वो महात्मा गांधी की उपासक है कि एक झापड़ यहाँ पड़ता है तो दूसरा काल आगे करते हैं, लो हमें मारो भी. But now let me come to the two issues, and they're very important. Just give me a couple of minutes, because number one, let me give you the facts, Navika, on the charges relating to the excise policy that, by the way, our government has suddenly reversed. Delhi Chief Secretary's report entails prima facie violations of the GNCD Act 1991, Transaction of Business Rules 1993, Delhi Excise Act 2009, and Delhi Excise Rules 2010. Worse, there was financial quid pro quo at the top official level wherein Manish Sisodia took major decisions in violation of the statutory provisions. There were also, quote, deliberate and gross procedural lapses, quote, to provide post-tender undue benefits to liquor licensees. Excise Department gave a waiver of 144 crores, you also mentioned it, to the licenses on the tender license-free gross violation of Rule 4811B of the Delhi Excise Rule 2010. Also, Excise Department revised the formula of calculation of rates of foreign liquor without approval of the competent authority. Number two, now let me come to this so-called Delhi education model. You know, Navika, if you still believe that Arvind Kejriwal is telling you the truth, then you are one who rubs his nails every morning to cure baldness. Or main to nahi karta, thank God. His is the party that celebrates anarchy, that publicly implored citizens to elect goons and thugs, that bought out much of the media with taxpayers' money. Our government ad spending has increased by 4,273% over the last 10 years. Last year, they spent 488 crores on ads. And as for this education, Navika, just a minute. 52% of trained graduate teaching positions in Delhi government schools are lying vacant. Out of 1,027 Delhi government schools, 824 are functioning without a principal. Our promised 20 new colleges, opened only one, Delhi Pharmaceutical Sciences and Research University. Meanwhile, teachers of 12 colleges run by the Delhi government have not been paid their salaries for months. Even the Delhi High Court through Justice Prasad slammed the Delhi government on this. Our promised 500 schools. No new school has come up. Instead, it resorted to building new classrooms that many allege are being constructed at a higher cost than is merited. Moreover, you can't just increase the number of classrooms and therefore number of students while keeping the school facilities like library, playground, swimming pool the same. Finally, Navika, there is a 12% decline in students who passed their 10th compared to last year. Then you had that fraud Kerala team visiting the education model denied by the Kerala government. Navika, 10 seconds. In short, Kejriwal's education model is as reliable as the journalism of New York Times. Entirely appropriate that both are praising and congratulating each other.
Mr. Jasmine Shah.